Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. We're down in Brighton where the sun is out. It's one of the hottest days of the year. But we've got Robin, who's over in Dublin, and you're having a complete mixed bag of weather, you said.
Yeah, miserable today. Great.
So Robin is part of our career services team. We're going to hear from her shortly. We've got a student with us today, Gemma, which this virtual seminar is going to be all about. Can't wait to hear Gemma's story and experience and find out what she's up to now. And Kieran's with us, who heads up the IT team here at the Learning People. Just some housekeeping. If you could keep yourself on mute, please. And we're going to be recording this as of now. So we'll send you the recording out afterwards, and that's about it, really. So yeah, so we'll crack on. I'm John O'Cox. I'm head of marketing here at the Learning People. I've been at the Learning People for coming up to 8 years, and it's been an amazing journey. And seeing how we've grown. As I say, we're down in Brighton. We've got a student care team and career services team over in Dublin. We've got branches in Sydney and also in Christchurch in New Zealand. So during the 11 years old that we are, we've supported over 30,000 students into new careers. And I guess the purpose of these sessions are just to kind of demystify the industry, to meet some of the students that have experienced, what it's like to be with the Learning People and then entered the industry, and then for you to kind of listen in. We've got some questions that you sent in as you registered for today's seminar, so we'll get through those during the session as well. And finally, I just want to say thanks to Jenny, who organised all of these virtual seminars. So thank you very much, Jenny. So I think firstly, if we just pass over to Kieran to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Thanks, Jono. So guys, you may have seen me run a couple of these virtual seminars before. My name is Kieran. I head up the IT and the cyber team here at the Learning People. And primarily our job is to give you, the students, a very thorough consultation on how to take you from where you are to where you want to be. And whether that is you coming from hospitality, or maybe you're a truck driver. I tell you, I've seen and spoken to all sorts of different students from every walk of life. And back in 2013, I actually did a course with the Learning People, and now I work for the Learning People, and I've kept that kind of journey and that experience with me throughout my career since, and now passing that on to you guys. But like I said, primarily our job here is to make sure that we're providing you with the right course pathway to get to your goals. So I think now I will pass over to Robin to do a quick intro on career services.
Thanks, Kieran. So yeah, I'm Robin from the career services team. I have 6 years of experience in the employability sector, including 2.5 years in tech recruitment before joining Learning People in August last year. And I can tell you there's never been a better time to enter a career in tech. The UK GDP is set to increase by 5.5%. So that indicates that there's major investment coming back to the economy, which leads to new initiatives and new opportunities overall. Our society is so reliant on IT, not only kind of in our day-to-day lives, but also as an essential factor for things like innovation and change, which is why it's no surprise that 69% of all tech-focused organizations plan to expand their teams over 2021 and 2022. At Career Services, we're on hand to provide industry-specific, impartial advice and support. We will support you in becoming job ready in order to avail of these opportunities, and we provide guidance and support on how to navigate the job market and navigate your career change into a tech role. How the process works is that you'll work one-to-one with a consultant like myself, where you'll be guided through a 3-phase process. And this is inclusive of a couple of things. So we've got your CV and LinkedIn support, your networking and your approach to job applications, how to beat that dreaded ATS or AI CV reviewer, as it's often called. We teach you on how to build relationships with recruiters. You get huge support in terms of interview prep, mock interviews and interview debriefing. And we support you through the job offer process and all the way up to starting your new role. In addition to that, you'll also get to join monthly workshops with other students, which is really, really beneficial. And so overall, with our experience in career services as recruiters, we know what's needed from you to make your profile stand out and above the competition. So we've had students with no prior IT experience get key roles within the industry, such as network engineer and SOC analyst. We've had experienced IT professionals land roles with tech giants, such as Amazon, in cloud security positions. So whether your path is more focused on an entry-level IT role, such as a support engineer, or to a route in cybersecurity, you'll receive support that's tailored to your path from Career Services. Thanks, guys. That's me.
Thanks, Robin. Fantastic. Great. So we're going to keep the session to try and aim to finish around 2 o'clock, guys. I appreciate taking lunch out and whatever it is you might be doing. But I'm really keen to say hello to Gemma and find out about Gemma's story. So, Gemma, you're up in Liverpool way, aren't you?
Yeah, near Liverpool, yes.
Near Liverpool. What's the weather doing with you?
Same as Robin, to be honest. We've had hail, thunder, rain, sunshine. Yeah.
So definitely better down south at the moment. I guess you're not too far away from Dublin, really, as the crow flies. So
across the pond, as we call it.
It is, yeah. It's 20 minutes on a plane.
There you go. There you go. Gemma, so thanks for joining us this afternoon. Do you want to just start by just giving an overview of what it is that you're up to at the moment?
I am currently studying for the cybersecurity analyst qualification. I've passed the A+, Network+, and Security+ just recently.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. A lot of hard work.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, that's where I'm currently up to. And then after my cybersecurity analyst, I'm going to be moving on to the certified ethical hacker.
Okay. And how long have you been enrolled with us for?
Since June last year.
Okay, great. So, I mean, that's fantastic for passing those exams. Obviously, there's a lot of hard work that goes into it. And so once you've kind of got fully certified, what's the goal then?
I'm looking at a few different options and also chatting to people via LinkedIn. Some people have suggested cloud security is a really good way to go. Some people have said SOC analyst. So at the moment, my focus is to try and finish the cyber analyst qualification. And then I'm going to do some researching into exactly which direction I want to go through, because it is quite a big sector and there's so many different roles. So again, it depends on what your interests are, which way you want to go, but researching different roles is definitely the way to go to know exactly what you want to do next.
Sure. So cybersecurity is the area that you want to go into in some capacity. So what was it that fascinated you about cybersecurity and want to enter the industry to begin with?
To be honest, about 18 months ago, my sister was scammed out of her money. It's part of what I put on LinkedIn. She was only 19 and she is dopey, but you know, when it hits someone that's so close to you, and I wanted to try and make sure that it doesn't happen to any other people. Obviously, I'm not going to be a one-man army, but you know, that's what made me want to do it.
That's inspiring. Can you share what the scam was?
Yeah, she got a text message and a letter through from the bank on the exact same day for a similar thing. So because she's a millennial, as they say, she clicked on the link on her phone, and then she ended up having the scammer was actually ringing her and saying things like, this number's going to come through to you on your phone, just let me know what it is so that I can activate your account. So the text message would come through, she would give the numbers out. He went as far as to say that we found the person, the police are on his way to his house now, would you want to press charges? Okay. Things like that. So you know, and then when she found out, when she actually got in touch with the bank, she was absolutely distraught for the fact that she'd been talking to the person who was actually scamming her and giving out all the details herself.
I'm sorry that your sister's been through that experience. I'm sure there's a number of us on this session that have experienced something similar. And I mean, it's 0% unemployment rate in cybersecurity at the moment shows just the demand is there because of all these scams that are going on. I'm sure Kieran can touch more on that. But what's your sister said since you decided to move into cybersecurity because of that incident?
I am now the go-to person for the entire family. So any text message that comes through or an email, I get screenshots of it. What do you think of this? Does it look suspicious? That's not just my sister though, my brother, all my family now, they all send me everything to make sure that it's all right and what I think.
And you're only going to continue to get more stuff from them as you progress in your career.
Yeah, I have put a few things on LinkedIn. I got one that a text message and it looked completely real from the Royal Mail, except for the fact the URL had .co.uk and .com in it.
Oh,
but
okay.
everything else looked brilliant. It was a good message.
Kieran, are these is this a similar experience to what you hear from students that enroll with us?
Yeah, John, we see so many different scams coming through. A really regular one is DPD. So they will send out a lookalike email where it says, "We've got your package, you need to pay for redelivery." And that one is one of the most common ones that we're seeing at the moment. And I've had students send it to me, and you can see very minute details, very similar to what you were saying, Gemma. But apart from that, you know, they're doing a really good job at making it look very, very similar. The other one that we get quite often is PayPal scams and Gumtree scams, Gumtree couriers. But if you go on the PayPal website, they've actually had to dedicate a whole section of their site to how to deal with PayPal scams because they got so sophisticated.
It's getting harder to spot them. For people who don't know what they're looking for, it's sad to think that some people will just, like my sister did, she just went and clicked on it and, you know, went straight through it.
And it's people of all ages as well. Sometimes you expect older people to fall for these scams, but it's any age. I had one as well, I think it was a few months ago, from HMRC, and then you can get your rebate, whatever it is, and you click through, and you have to obviously put in your account details, your sort code, your favourite dog, all of it.
Yeah.
So, it's rife. So just going backwards a little bit, Gemma. So you were inspired by your sister's story to get into cybersecurity. What skills did you have before calling the learning people, if any?
I didn't. Well, I say I didn't have any IT knowledge. I've been a shift manager for over 10 years, so I have worked with computers. I have always been a little bit techie, but I was never into that sort of world. So as security wise, I didn't have any prior knowledge. I do now.
And so what was it? Obviously, if you're passing your exams, it's fantastic. So what was the experience like? Did you were inquired about a cybersecurity course, I guess, and spoke to one of our career consultants who helped kind of put you on the right pathway?
I seen an advert, I think it was on Facebook, and I registered for more information, and then I spoke to Jasmine, and then it just went from there. You know, Jasmine was really good. She explained everything to me. She gave me all my options, and enrolling was really easy. You know, within a day, I think it was, I was on the platform and off, ready to go.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to hear, and it's better to hear the success of passing your exams. So with the exams, what's been the most challenging part of the studies?
I think coming in with no experience, I think getting started was the hardest part for me.
Yeah.
Once I got the basic knowledge underneath, it was a flow through it. But I think you need to, some people may think that it's a bit long-winded the way that it's set out, but from where I am now, I don't think I'd have been here without following the path that Jasmine helped put together for me. So just starting on the A+, even though it's 2 exams to get the 1 qualification, it really does give you the base knowledge that you need, because when you start doing the networking, all the stuff that you've learned in A+ is in there. And you know, as you go on with Security Plus, is exactly the same. But if you just started on Network Plus, I don't think some of the terminology they use and the port numbers and things like that, you wouldn't know where you were. So it does give you a really good base from starting from the bottom and working with the program.
And have you accessed many of the practice labs?
I have, yeah.
And have they been helpful?
Some of the practice labs are helpful. I think it does depend on how you learn. I do learn from doing things.
Yeah.
So doing practice labs and practice exams are better for me than sitting down and reading a book. So, yeah.
And the fact that you can break something in a live environment and it's going to cost no money at all, rather than thousands and thousands of pounds, it's got the
yeah. You don't have to pay for it yourself. So.
Yeah. Exactly. Robin, let's bring you in here just to share some wisdom on, so Gemma's coming up to the end of her training. She'll soon hopefully pass all of her exams. What would be the next step into getting into the industry and securing a role?
So we've been working together a little bit. So we've brought your CV and your LinkedIn and your cover letters and things like that up to date. We've taken a little bit of a pause so that Gemma can focus on getting those exams kind of out of the way, because of those have to take a priority. But then what we'll do is we'll create a targeted approach in terms of networking and balancing your networking, your direct approaches, and your online applications, right? So that you've got a strong kind of plan there, because people often just apply for jobs online, and it's not the most effective route. The online job boards aren't a true reflection of what's in the market. They only represent 30% of available opportunities. So if you're not networking and you're not reaching out to companies directly in a speculative approach, you're completely missing out on the 70% of opportunities in the hidden market. So that's what we do. We'll create a plan. I get Gemma to go out and do it, work through the plan for maybe a period about 2 or 3 weeks. Then we'll have a consultation, see what's working, see what needs to be changed, and tailor it, so on and so forth. And then we look at, then she'll start getting interviews. And that's when we focus on doing kind of the interview support side of things. You're laughing, Gemma, but I've no doubt.
Oh, I'm smiling. I'm smiling at the prospect of it all becoming, you know.
It'll happen, 100%.
So what would be your ideal role or company to work for, Gemma?
To be honest, I think because I've worked for the same place for the last 10 years, I don't really have an ideal place where I'd like to be. It's just, I want to be somewhere where I'm making a difference, where my job actually means something, that I'm doing what I love to do every day. That's probably the most important things to me. It's not about what company it is. It's about, you know, doing something that I enjoy and I'm helping.
It's
as
quite
corny as that sounds.
Yeah, well, it's compelling though, isn't it? You know, it's not like, you know, working for the NHS, you're helping, but actually working within the industry of cybersecurity, you're helping thousands of people every single day. You know, it's going to be the next biggest kind of war will be taken over with cybersecurity crime, if it hasn't already. It's yeah, it's massive, and I think your story is fantastic. Yeah, excited to see when you get placed, where it is that you actually land your job. And exactly what role it is you're doing. But I think what we'll do now is ask some questions that people online have sent in. So where should we go for? So this is from Tim for Kieran. For a successful career in cybersecurity, would you advise specialising in a specific area, or is it better to have a broader, less in-depth knowledge?
Jono. So Tim, I'd say that the best route to go down is, and this is a line taken directly from CompTIA, who are the awarding body for most of the certificates that we do in cybersecurity, is they will give you knowledge that is a mile wide and an inch deep, because that's what the professional job market is looking for. They want you to be able to be absolutely everywhere and handle all types of different situations, rather than being what we call vendor specific, which is maybe just going down one of the bigger companies like Microsoft. CompTIA will take you vendor neutral, which means you could work for almost any company. So that's what I would say would be the best one, is to go down and be vendor neutral, and pick a specialism later on when you fit into a company that, you know, like Gemma said, is going to help you make a difference.
Great, thanks. Gemma, have you been working whilst you've been studying?
I was put onto furlough on the shielding list in April last year, so I had 5 months off, and in June is when I obviously decided to do something about it. I went back to work for a couple of weeks and then put back on furlough, and then I've recently, in the last month, gone back to work. So while the first 3 months of this year, I really nailed the studying, and that's how I got network and security done within the 3 months. So yeah, that's, I use the time off to further myself.
Absolutely, yeah, really effectively. And so since you've gone back to work, how many hours would you say that you're focusing on studies?
It's a tricky one, that, because I passed the Security Plus and the Network Plus so close together. I have given myself a couple of weeks off, so I wasn't just overloading myself. But I'm still trying to at least do it maybe once or twice a week. And now my shifts have changed in work, I'm going to be putting even more into it, because I get 4 days off every week now.
Okay.
So, yeah.
It's going to be quite a seismic shift, isn't it, from what you're currently doing?
Yeah, I'm a shift manager in food production at the moment.
Okay, so that's I mean, that's quite a full-on role, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do they know that you're studying to change career?
Not at the moment, no. No.
Well, I hope they're not watching.
If they are, they won't be saying anything themselves.
Right, Robin, here's a question from Luke. What kind of path would a service desk analyst or IT support analyst need to take to get into this sector?
So if you're looking to get into a service desk analyst or an IT support role, all that you need there is the CompTIA A+. So that would be the first step. Once you achieve the A+, you're completely available then to start applying for these positions and move into that role. So that's an option that people can do. Start off with the A+, get a job while you continue the rest of your studies, moving on to the network and security plus and things like that. If this question is about a service desk analyst or IT support analyst looking to move into cybersecurity, we'd assume maybe that you'd already have the A+. If you don't, step one, right? Then we'd look at network plus, security plus, and the CISA plus, similar to what Gemma is doing, the same path as what Gemma is doing here now. That would be the best place to start there. And then you could work with us at Career Services and we'd help you create that IT focused CV. The first part of it is building your brand as an IT professional will help you do that. I have a background in IT recruitment as well, so I know exactly how you need to do that. So that's the best way, and we can start a fully tailored process for you then.
Should with CVs, because in marketing, sometimes you put a picture, your profile picture on. Should you do that with the IT CV? Is that faux pas?
It's not a done thing in the UK.
Okay.
Or Ireland. It's something that is quite common in Scandinavian countries and in continental Europe, but it's not really done here. As someone that's been in recruitment, whenever I got a CV with a picture on it, you'd kind of snigger a little bit.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay. Noticed if ever I'm applying for something else, which I have no plans to. So Kieran from Isaac. Isaac says, what is the difference between postgraduate study in cybersecurity and professional certifications?
I really like this question actually, Johnny, because it comes up loads when we're speaking to different students. A lot of people are coming from university, during university, speaking to us and wanting to know the difference. And the easiest way to break that down is if you think about a university syllabus being a 3-year-long degree, sometimes 4, someone's got to write that syllabus, which can take 2 to 3 years to write it. Then someone's got to review it. Let's say, just to be easy, let's say it takes another year, and then it takes another 3 years for that person to complete it. Well, that's 7 years. How many iPhones, for example, have come out in the last 7 years? That just shows you how quickly technology is changing. So doing a professional certificate like what Gemma is doing, this is not only getting you job ready, which is the whole reason we have them, but also it keeps you current in the industry. So Gemma will be ready to just step straight into that role and absolutely smash it like we know she's going to. Versus going to a university degree and learning things that when you get into the job role, oh, we haven't done that for a couple of years. Kind of makes it obsolete. So that's the difference between postgraduate study and a professional certificate.
Okay, thanks, Kieran. Gemma, have you got into kind of any like box sets, Netflix series specifically focusing on cybersecurity as just general interest or to immerse yourself further?
No, I haven't actually. No.
I wish I
watching
could.
Last Kingdom, which is far from cybersecurity.
I haven't seen that either, and I'm probably the worst person to ask about series. Is Robin or Kieran, is there anything you'd recommend? Cybersecurity-esque? No? Oh, well, there's a niche there.
I'd recommend The Last Kingdom for sure.
I would, yes.
This is now the Last Kingdom virtual seminar.
Here's a question for you, Robin, from Kim. Is there an age maximum as I'm 58 and I want to change my job to cybersecurity?
Absolutely not, right? So for the more kind of senior roles in IT, such as cybersecurity, having a wealth of knowledge is very important. So having more life experience under your belt allows you to have a much wider overall viewpoint. And you've got to think about this logically, right? So the main aspects of that role of cybersecurity is analyzing and problem solving. you know, so having that wider viewpoint is really beneficial in that sense. So yeah, don't let things like age worry you, you know. And the thing about it is nobody's even going to know your age. You know, we don't put date of births on CVs anymore. There's ways around that you only showcase the information about you that people should be reviewing, right? They should only review you based on your skills, your qualifications, and what you can bring to the table. Your age is irrelevant. It really is.
Kieran, have you got anything else to add to that?
I think just to reassure everyone that, you know, people like Jasmine who spoke to Gemma and the rest of my team will speak to people, you know, 58 and over from all different age ranges daily. There really is no limit on who can apply into a role within IT or cybersecurity. It is just down to you as a person, how much you want it, how much you're going to put in, which kind of ties into one of the other questions we got asked.
Yeah, so how challenging is it to switch careers to cybersecurity from a different industry? I mean, Gemma's outlined that, which she's moving away from. What would you say, Kieran?
Well, I'm actually going to tag Robin in with this afterwards because I think this is definitely a dual approach here, but it really does come down to the mindset of the student. And as Gemma said, the A+ is where you start. And I'm pretty sure that if I said to Gemma, it can be quite a challenging course because it is the longest one that we do. It's roughly between 70 and 80 hours of learning. When I was doing the modules, I actually took a little bit longer because I like to go back and write them down and really absorb the knowledge. But if you've got the mindset and you really want to change your career, and, you know, like I really wanted to work for the learning people, I made sure that, you know, I worked here. If you really want to get into IT, you will put that effort into passing your A+, doing your Network Plus, and going through that same pathway that Gemma's done. But on the back of that, I'm going to tag Robin in now, because once you've done that, the switch from then getting the role that you're in now into cyber is definitely one of the biggest aspects that we talk to students about. And Robin and her team are absolutely fantastic about this.
Yeah, thanks, Kieran. Well, again, it does really follow on from Kieran's point, because it's your diligence and your dedication to the process that we set out. That's what's going to make the difference. You're going to have all of the support, you're going to have all of the guidance and all of the tools. It's down to you to really push through the process, because it's not easy, you know, and I don't think job seeking in any kind of manner is not easy, right? I don't believe in people trying to say that it is, because it's not, right? But there is definite ways and it's a law of averages, right? So if you can do the right activities in the right manner and with the right kind of quality consistently, these avenues will start opening for you. You have to be open to doing extra things like spending more time on research so that you've got a broader idea of the career that you're entering into. So it's not only just a change of job or just doing the certifications. You have got to be willing and very much committed to it's a lifestyle change almost. You know, you're entering into a new world and you've got to have as much knowledge and build as many contacts as possible. Our students that have gone from retail into cybersecurity roles, it's down to the relationships that they've made and the dedication to the process that we set out. That is the difference between it being able to achieve that or not. But like that, you have the full support and all of the resources to get you there with us at Career Services and with the career consultants and student care as well. So it's all there. The rest is down to you.
I think that's a nice segue into just a couple of well done messages this week. I know there's a few of our students who are on this seminar as well. Angela, good luck to you, who's got an interview with Capture as a service desk analyst. Christopher has accepted an offer on a role as IT support analyst at the Phases Group, and Bilal has also started this week as an IT support analyst at Athlone. So yeah, congratulations to all of you guys. It's great to hear your successes. So just before we round off this session, Gemma, what advice would you give to anybody on here who's thinking about taking the step into enrolling on a cybersecurity course?
I think if you've got it in your mind and it's something that you want to do, you've got to take it. You've got to jump, because you don't get the second chances in this life. You know, you either do it and you succeed, or you don't, and you stay where you are if you're feeling stuck. you'll always be stuck. I'd just say that, you know, just take a chance on yourself, because it's only yourself that's going to let you fail or succeed, you know.
Yeah, I totally agree with these. I think unless anyone, Robin or Kieran, if you've got any other questions, that's probably about it for today.
No more questions from me. I just think I'll say one last thing is that after these webinars, I usually get a lot of people connecting with me on LinkedIn or sending me emails. Please, everyone who's on here, feel free to get in touch if you want to arrange a consultation, or if you want to just ask me a question, then you know, we can do that. And yeah, John has got my details there for you. I'll pass back over to you, John. Thank you.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, give us a call if you're not in touch with us already, or email Kieran. But thanks so much for taking the time out to join us today, and we hope to hear from you and speak to you in the very near future. And Gemma, we'll continue to I will continue to follow your journey, and you'll be in touch with Robin quite closely moving forward, I imagine. But thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's a pleasure, and enjoy your holiday to Cornwall as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool. All right, guys,
Thanks,
we'll leave
Gemma.
it there. Thanks, everybody.